Hi friends, I'm Rebecca and thank you for joining me today for this practice to celebrate shining the light of your own self-worth. You might like to have a block or a strap handy for this practice today, so take just a moment, gather what you need, and I'll see you on the mat.
We are going to start in Virasana today. If you prefer to come to a cross-legged seat, that is completely fine also. If you'd like to come to Virasana, you can use a block underneath your tailbone. You just want to get your big femur bones coming right out of the hip sockets here and your heels just a little bit to the outside of your hips. And then just allow yourself to settle in here, feeling that nice stacking of the spinal bones, the vertebrae. And just begin to breathe deeply down into the belly. Allow your chin to be lifted just slightly so that your cervical bones can be in a nice straight line. Shoulders stacked right over your hips. As you begin to smooth out that breath, just imagine yourself inhaling a beautiful yellow light all the way down into your belly. And as you exhale, imagine that light rising up from the belly, through the chest, and back out the nose. And allow this light to be a symbol of your own personal power, your own self-worth. Inhaling that warm feeling of worthiness all the way down into the belly. And exhaling that out, sharing that with the world. And just allow yourself to settle into this feeling for just a moment. One more big deep breath here. And exhale it all out. And if your eyes are closed, you can allow your eyelids to flutter open. We're going to interlace the fingers here and then turn the palms away from the body. Inhaling the arms up overhead, opening up those shoulders, shining the middle of the chest forward. Exhaling, allowing the fingers to rain down. Interlacing the fingers once again, inhaling the arms up overhead, imagining that yellow light right underneath your breastbone, shining your light forward. Exhale. One more time here, inhaling the arms up overhead. And exhale, fingers rain down. And then taking the head over toward the left shoulder, just allow yourself to drop the head over to the left. The right shoulder sinking away from the right ear, creating this distance between the ear and the shoulder. Right elbow nice and heavy. Just bringing that stretch gently into the side of the neck. And now just allow yourself to roll the crown of the head slightly forward, tucking the chin and keeping the head at a 45-degree angle. And if you like, you can take that left hand to the back of the head, drawing down very gently, pressing the crown of the head into the hand and the hand into the crown of the head, stretching through that back right side of the neck. Notice what your breath is doing. And then release the hand from the back of the head and just allow the head to continue to come forward, bringing that stretch all the way into the back of the neck. Shoulders are still dropping away here, tucking the chin. And then from here, we'll inhale the head back up and then exhale as we drop the head over to the other side. You might get a nice little pop there in the back of your neck, like I did. Allowing that left elbow to be heavy, creating that space between the ear and the top of the shoulder. And then once again, just allowing that crown of the head to sink forward to a 45-degree angle. We'll bring the right hand to the back of the head, pressing the head into the hand into the head. Bringing that stretch into the back of the neck. And then allowing that to release, just letting that head come forward. So now back to stretching the very back of the neck. And then inhaling the head back up. And from here, we're going to take the left hand and just allow it to come down to the left heel here. Or if you are seated cross-legged, you can just allow that hand to come down to the mat next to you. We'll inhale the other hand up and exhale as we reach over for the seam of the ceiling and the wall, bringing that side stretch into the left side. Sorry, into the right side. And then we'll allow that to release, finding the other heel or the other mat next to us. Inhaling the opposite arm up, reaching up and over. Imagine that hip moving down towards the mat as the fingers reach up. And exhale. And now inhaling both arms up overhead. We'll exhale as we turn toward the left side. So you can take one hand behind you, one hand to the opposite knee, maybe taking that hand to the back of the hip here. Inhale to grow tall, imagining that solar plexus area, that area right under the breastbone, twisting over to the side. Moving right from the center of the body there. Inhaling the arms up overhead. And exhaling, we'll come to the other side. Inhaling the arms back up overhead. And we'll exhale, bringing the hands down through heart center. So we'll shift forward slightly to come out of our Virasana here, comfortable seat. We're going to move the feet close together so that the toes are close together and the arches of the feet are moving towards each other. And then just press yourself back onto your toes here. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can continue in your comfortable seat for a moment. We're just going to come into a little bit of a toe balance. So once you've found your way here onto your toes, you can keep the fingertips on the floor if you like, or you can bring the hands to heart center, allowing yourself to balance here for just a moment. Seeing if you can stack the shoulders over the hips, moving the arches of the feet towards each other, finding a focal point. And then on your next exhale, releasing those fingertips back to the floor. If you'd like to grab your block here, you can. And we're just going to separate those feet just a little in any way that is accessible for you. We'll bring the fingers to the floor and allow the hips to rise up. Coming into our first forward fold. If you're a little stiff this morning, or if you've got a cranky back like I do, you can bring your block in front of you for some support, bringing that floor to you. And we're just going to allow the hips to rise and fall with the breath. So exhaling to extend. Inhaling, allowing the hips to sink down. Exhale to extend. Inhale to sink down. And while I cue that exhaling to extend and inhaling to sink, for some people it feels more natural to do it the other way. What's important here is just for you to breathe with the movement. So if you're not following my cues exactly, don't worry about that. Just continue to move gently here, waking up the hamstrings. I'm going to turn to the side slightly here so you can see. We'll allow those hips to sink down one more time. And then keeping the knees nice and bent here, you can plant your left hand on your mat or on your block. We're going to inhale the right arm open, extending through the right knee. So coming into a bit of a forward fold twist here. Just allow your head to be relaxed. Feeling that opening across the front of the chest as well as the lengthening in the hamstring. Inhale here to reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling, and exhale, allowing them to come back down to the mat or the block. Bending those knees generously again, inhaling open through the left arm, extending through the left leg. Inhaling, reaching up through the fingertips. Exhale, coming back down. Now you should still be facing forward on your mat. Just allow yourself to move that block out of the way. We're going to heel toe the feet apart until we're in a wide leg forward fold. So allowing all those toes to point directly forward. And then from here, we'll just sink forward. So bringing that stretch into the hamstrings in a slightly different way. Allowing yourself to sink forward. And then we'll inhale up halfway and we'll come into that twist again. So take the right hand, planting it in front of your face, inhaling up through the left. Feeling, just noticing how this twist is different with the legs apart than with the legs together. Noticing all those little different places where you experience this in your body. Inhale, reaching those fingertips up. Exhale, sinking back down. We'll switch hands here at the bottom. Inhaling the other arm open. Still imagining yourself moving from that solar plexus area, allowing that light to shine over to the side, even if this is just an energetic intention. Just giving your body that sensation of moving this way. Inhaling, reaching out through those fingertips. Exhale, release. Now with those hands still on the floor in front of you, walk your feet in a little bit more than hip width distance. And we're going to bend into the knees slightly and bring one hand above each bent knee. So imagine that maybe you've been running for a long time and now you're taking this stance to recover. And from here, we're going to come into our cat-cow. So rounding the spine, really pulling the belly button in here. And then exhaling, rolling that tailbone up towards the ceiling, allowing the belly to drop. And taking a nice big inhale here, and then exhaling back to our cat. And if you like, you can grasp a little behind the knees here, pulling just a little, doing what feels good for your back. So just come through this motion just a few times on your own. And then come back to a neutral spine, pulling that belly button in and up. And then we'll inhale all the way up to stand. Hands come up overhead and down through heart center. You can heel toe your feet in here. If you have a strap handy this morning and you'd like to use it, we're going to come into Gomukhasan arms here in just a minute, cow face arms. So you can go ahead and take that strap and put it over your shoulder. And then when you're ready, come back into your wide leg stance. We're going to take our right foot, turn it out towards the top of the mat, and bring that left foot in at a little bit of an angle here. Inhaling the arms up halfway, and then exhaling as we deepen into this right knee, coming into our warrior two stance. So just check in here with your body. See about bringing the weight into the outside edges of the feet, really pressing into those outside edges, pulling this front knee back. See if you can see your toe peeking out front of your knee. And then we'll bring the gaze forward, checking in with yourself here, seeing that your chin is stacked over your belly button right over your pelvis. And then if you have your strap here today, we're going to take this right hand and we'll move it right behind the back. So you'll want your strap over your right shoulder, same shoulder as the bent leg. And then just allowing that back hand to come back around, grasping the ends of the strap and coming into our Gol Mukhasan arms here. Imagining yourself opening that center of the body, continuing to deepen into that front knee, welcoming any little shake or tremble that might be coming there, and bringing this stretch into the shoulders. Nice big inhale here, and then exhale, slowly release, coming back into your warrior two, taking your gaze over those front fingertips, dropping that back arm, sweeping up as you inhale, stretching that side body. Continuing to deepen into that front knee. Inhaling back to warrior two. And then we'll extend that front knee, shifting the hips out to the side, and allow yourself to come into your triangle pose. If you like a block here, you can bring a block under your hand. And you can take that gaze up towards the thumb if you like, or if it's more gentle for your neck, just allow your gaze to remain forward. And now shifting your gaze down toward your foot, we'll allow that top hand to just windmill around. And we're going to come back into our wide leg forward fold. So allowing that front foot to swivel around, all 10 toes pointing forward. And just sinking down into your wide leg forward fold. Make sure you're bringing your strap with you, your block, if you need it for triangle. We'll inhale to come up halfway and then turn that opposite foot out, now towards the back of the mat. And turning towards that leg, just allow ourselves to rise up. And I'll check in with your stance here if you need to make any adjustments. And we'll get ready to come into warrior two on this other side. So you might want to bring your strap over your shoulder. Inhaling the arms up halfway, and then exhale as we deepen into our warrior two on this side. Pulling that belly button up and in. Maybe turning the hands upward for a moment to bring the shoulders onto the back, and then turning the hands down. Turning the gaze forward, checking in with your alignment. And then bringing that left hand behind the back, swiveling the right hand up, and grasping your strap, your fingertips coming into Gol Mukhasan arms on this side. Spreading the collarbones away from each other. Nice, strong legs. Big deep breath here. And then exhale as you release your fingertips or the strap, coming back into warrior two. And then inhaling into your reverse warrior. Your light now shining up towards the ceiling. Feeling your own strength here. Inhaling back to warrior two. And then we'll straighten through that front leg, shifting the hips out to the side, gathering up all that space, all that air as you drop into your triangle. Shifting your gaze down, we'll allow that top arm to swim around, coming back once again into our wide leg forward fold. Inhaling here to come up halfway. We'll exhale, coming into the fold, moving that strap out of the way. And then inhaling up halfway. You can heel toe your feet into the center, hip width distance, keeping those knees nice and bent. We'll take one hand over each bent knee and then inhale up to stand with a flat back. Hands coming to heart center. And just take a moment here to just notice, check in with yourself. What is your experience of being in this practice, being in your body today? We'll allow the hands to release down. We'll come up to the top of the mat. And we're just going to come through a couple of slow sun salutations. So we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale as we come into our forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale to release. We'll step back with the left foot. Exhaling as we sink into this lunge. Planting both hands, stepping the front foot back. And you can come to knees, chest, and chin here if you like. Scooping up into baby cobra. Exhale, releasing down. Inhaling up through plank and into downward facing dog. Bringing the left foot forward. Exhaling as we come into this left lunge. Inhaling the back foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up to stand. Hands come to meet overhead. Exhaling all the way back down. Moving nice and slow and gentle with yourself. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale to bow. Stepping back with the right leg. Exhale, looking forward, coming into our lunge. Planting your hands, stepping the front foot back, knees, chest, and chin, or you can come through your version of chaturanga. Inhaling up, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhaling up through plank and into downward dog. Bringing the right leg forward, getting it there however you need to get it there. Exhale into your lunge. Stepping the back foot to the front. Inhaling up halfway. And exhale, release. And inhale up to stand. Hands come to heart center. One nice deep breath here. Letting it all out. And then inhaling the arms back up overhead. We'll exhale, coming into our forward fold. And stepping both feet back into a downward facing dog. And just taking a few breaths here in your down dog. See if you can move that solar plexus space back towards the space between your feet. So bringing your gaze in between your toes, moving that center of the chest back towards the feet. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring the right leg forward, coming into a lunge. And we'll allow that left knee to come down to the floor. You can keep the left toes tucked under if you like, or take the top of the foot to the mat here. Either way, pulling both legs into the center line, pulling in through the belly button, pressing the toes or the top of the foot into the floor, and then allowing yourself to come up slowly, coming into our Anjaneyasana, pulling back through this right hip, forward through the left hip. And then if you like, inhaling the arms up overhead, reaching out through the fingertips. We'll come into a twist here. So it could be a twist of your choice. You can bring the hands to heart center and loop that left elbow over the right knee. Or you can come into a gentle twist here, just bringing one hand to the knee and one to the hip. And if you like, you can turn those toes under, pressing yourself up into a lunge here. Bringing in that little additional challenge for the legs. Coming back to center now. Bring the hands back down to the mat, coming back into our lunge, and then allow that back foot to walk up a couple of footprints so that we can put that heel firmly on the floor, rising up here into warrior one. Front knee over front ankle, thighs hugging in towards each other. Inhaling those fingertips up. Exhaling, we'll come into goddess arms. Really spreading out that solar plexus area, feeling that as the seat in the center of your power, your personal efficacy, your worthiness. Inhaling the arms back up here. We'll extend through that front leg. Exhaling as we bring the hands around behind the back. You can bump those fists to each other or hold on to the elbows if you like. Inhaling here to grow tall. And then exhaling, allowing that solar plexus area to guide you down. Coming into our Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. Continuing to move that right hip back, left foot forward, left hip forward. And then releasing the hands, bending into that front knee, inhaling back up into our warrior one. And then stepping the back foot to the front. Hands come to heart center, coming back here into your Tadasana. Big deep breath, letting it all out. And then coming through this on the other side, sweeping the arms up overhead on the inhale. Exhaling, hands coming down into our forward fold. Stepping back into our downward facing dog. Taking our 3 breaths here. Really pressing out of the mat here, bending the knees as much as you need to allow the spine to be nice and long and straight. One last breath. And then we'll step forward with the left leg, coming into our lunge on the left side. And you can drop that right knee to the mat and slowly bring yourself up into your low lunge, peeling that left hip back, pressing forward with the right, inhaling, arms up overhead. Nice big inhale here, and then choose your twist, either prayer twist or gentle twist. And if you like to come up onto the toes, you can do that here. Coming back forward, lowering the hands back to frame that left foot, walking that right foot forward, a couple of footprints, and inhaling up, warrior one. Bring the knee over the ankle, inhaling up tall, exhaling, goddess arms. Give yourself a little smile here. I like to say, stretch that yoga muscle in your face. Inhaling the arms back up overhead. We'll exhale as we extend through that front leg, bringing the hands around behind, opening through the chest, and exhaling, sinking down, shining that light from the center of our being right down over the foot here. And then deepening back into that front knee, inhaling, arms come up overhead, coming back into our warrior one. And exhaling, hands come to heart center, stepping the back foot forward, coming back to our Tadasana. Checking in with the breath, checking in with the body. And then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale as we come back down into our forward fold. Stepping the feet back, coming into downward facing dog. And you have your choice here. You can take a few breaths here in your downward facing dog, Or if you'd like a moment's rest, you can come into your child's pose. So take your choice here, how you would like to spend the next 3 breaths, either in your down dog or your child's pose. And one last breath here. And then everyone go ahead and come down into a child's pose, either wide leg or with your knees close together. Allowing yourself to feel the restfulness of this pose, feeling all the places where your skin stretches, your muscles stretch. And then when you're ready, allow your breath to carry you up from your child's pose like a wave. And bringing the knees closer together if you need to. Just allow yourself to swivel the feet over to one side. We'll come back to the back of the mat in our Dandasana for just a moment here. Pulling the toes back towards the face, pressing the palms or perhaps the fists into the floor next to the hips. Seeing if you can bring the shoulders over the pelvis. And if this is a real challenge, remember you can always sit up on a block or the edge of a folded blanket here to allow that pelvis to tilt forward slightly. Most of our sitting time in our lives we spend with our pelvis tilted the other direction. So bringing that pelvis forward can feel very challenging at times. And allow yourself to release. We're going to scoot towards the center of the mat here and turn towards the long edge, coming into a wide leg seated position, Upavista Konasana, dragonfly. So you might want to reach underneath your legs here, just draw the meat forward just a little, maybe even under the calves here, to just allow the feet to come open as much as possible. And then from here, just allow yourself to sit up as straight as you can. And then imagine once again that there's a string or a light here, and you're bringing that forward. So just allow yourself to come forward any amount. Doesn't have to be very far. Let there be a nice straight line from your tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. So if you find yourself hunching forward slightly, walk yourself back a little until you can bring that nice straight alignment into the spine. And then we're going to allow the fingertips to walk all the way back towards the body. And we're going to take the right hand to the left hand to the inside of the left leg. We'll inhale the right arm up overhead. And as we're exhaling, just slide that hand along the inside of the leg. Focusing on the sensation here, the opening of the legs, stretch of the side body, more than on the shape. Breathing into the side body. And then we'll inhale to release. Taking the right hand to the inside of the right leg now. Inhaling up through the left arm. Exhaling, sliding that right arm along the inside of the leg. And this may feel quite different on either side. I know it does in my body today. So just notice that. Allow yourself to hold that without judgment. Breathe into the side body, filling the lungs. And then inhale to release. Bring the hands underneath the knees, bringing those feet into touch. Maybe grasping the toes or the ankles, coming into our Baddha Konasana. I'm just focusing on sitting up nice and straight here. Not forcing the knees down, but just allowing them to sink down as much as they will. And I'm allowing that to release. We'll take the hands underneath the bent knees here, and we're just going to move the left foot in front of the right, bringing the right heel around to the outside of the left hip here, and taking that right foot over top of the knee. We're coming into a twist here. So we'll open up through the right arm and exhale as we bring that around the opposite knee, bringing the fingertips to the floor behind. And we often do this with the lower leg extended. So if this isn't working in your body today, just extend that lower leg. Come into a different variation of this pose that suits you. Growing tall as you inhale, still moving from the center of the chest. And exhale to release forward, allowing yourself to gently unwind. And now bringing that top leg around to the outside of the opposite hip, crossing over in the other direction. Inhaling open through the left arm this time. And exhaling, bringing that left arm around. And there are lots of variations of this pose. So if you have a different one in your practice, feel free to bring that in if you like. And inhale, allowing yourself to unwind, coming back to center. Unwinding the legs, and then we'll shift down to the back. Bringing the knees into the chest here. Rolling out through that lower back. Maybe rolling a little more to side today, just to give yourself that little extra little back massage. So finding whatever feels good here. You are worth this moment of comfort and ease. And then allowing both feet to sink down to the floor, bringing the heels as close to the tail as you can. We'll bring the hands palm down next to the hips. And then you can inhale, bringing the hips up. Exhale, holding it here for a couple of breaths. Creating some space between the chest and the chin. And exhale, releasing down one vertebra at a time, coming all the way down. And then shifting into our bridge pose once more, inhaling the hips up towards the ceiling, this time allowing yourself to walk the shoulder blades underneath the back, maybe even grasping the fingers behind the back. And just one more time, feeling that solar plexus area really shining up towards the ceiling here, just like you had a big headlight there. Big deep breath. Exhale. Imagine that light shining out. One more deep breath, pressing into the heels, pulling the knees towards each other. And then exhale, releasing the fingertips, releasing the shoulders, rolling down slowly. Coming all the way back down to the back. Knees coming into the chest. And then allow the arms to open out wide. And just allow those knees to fall over to one side, any side. If it feels good here, you can extend that top leg or not. Your choice here. Bending that top leg if you chose to extend it, bringing the knees back to the chest, taking a moment here for the pelvis to readjust, and then dropping the knees over to the other side. Maybe taking the gaze over the opposite shoulder, extending that top leg. Bending that top leg if you have it extended, bringing the knees into the chest, and then finding any last movement here that you like. Maybe you like to come into happy baby, or just roll around on your back a little, or extend your arms and legs out long. Yogi's choice, finding your own last shape. Bringing the soles of the feet together. If you came into happy baby, just allow yourself to extend out long into your Shavasana. And you can take your Shavasana here, stretched out long if you like, or you can come into constructive rest pose, allowing the knees to knock to each other, maybe taking one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And as you sink into your Shavasana here, just tell yourself, may I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I be strong. May I be safe. May I be protected. May I live in peace. And may I know that I'm worthy of it all. Allow yourself to take a deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back gently to this time and space. Roll yourself to one side. And then gently press up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered. We'll end today with a quote: self-love, self-respect, self-worth. There's a reason they all start with self. You cannot find them in anyone else. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and may your yoga follow you off the mat.